Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Although the NFL season is done, there's still many games to be played between college basketball, NBA, NHL, and WNBA. There's always time to embrace your inner underdog. All you got to do is predict higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. If you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code ChiefConcerns, one word, to claim your free pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So let's continue to keep the good vibes going into the spring season. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash, your legendary Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn. JD, how are you doing, brother?
Man, I am doing fine, my brother. I'm doing well. Much better than I was a few days ago. I'm getting better, starting to get my energy back, and I'm fine, almost there. About 90%. Yeah, where you at, JD? Yeah, right there. Right.
Could you give me a few snaps today? JD?
Yeah, I could give you some. Yeah, I was kind of hustling back, and I was telling you, I was like, man, I try to go do something right before the show, and I'm like, man, I got some time to do what I need to go do, and so I ran to the store, grabbed a few things, obviously, having to deal with this or whatever it was, this stomach flu and stuff, and hadn't really been eating that like a lot of like hearty food, and so went to go grab a few things, and of course, I was pushing it. I felt good, man. Geez, I'm like, man, I'm all right. So everything's good, man. Everything's good this way, man. How about you? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Our flag football season started on Sunday this past week. Our spring season started, so I was happy. And the crazy thing is when the season starts in the springtime, because the cherry blossoms in the DC, everyone and their mom comes out from all over the world. Really, they come out, and so traffic is no good. And they actually changed our field location to right on the mall itself. So in the background, we had the Capitol, and in the background you had the monument. So while it's amazing and it looks beautiful, it's just there's no place to park. You got to get there super early. And it was 80 degrees on Sunday too. So it was beautiful weather. So if you were a person coming to DC to go look at the cherry blossoms and all that stuff, great day for you. But man, it seemed like everybody was in DC on Sunday. But nonetheless, wow. We came out victorious, 39-18 on Sunday for a week 1 opener.
And I seen you back there doing work, man. Going there doing your same thing, side arming over the top. Finding the guys in tight windows. I loved it. I'm like, man, this looks vaguely familiar. A championship form already. Man, y'all look good. Good.
New playbook that you and I went over, a few variations of different plays, which they were all in the playbook, and everyone on the team was complimenting your plays, JD. So there you go.
Okay. Good deal. Didn't even work. As far as,
Yeah, I believe our longest play of the day was I forgot what you call it. It was one of the levels types plays.
Okay.
It was the backside post. That was our longest play of the day. They weren't letting us get anything over top, so I kind of thread the needle on one of the post routes there. But that was a JD special right there.
Okay. Yeah. See, look, I love it. Now the next one is me coming out there and then actually getting a couple of reps for you all.
There you go.
To make an appearance, man. And you got room for me to get on the team for one game?
Of course. The teammates would love to have you. Believe me, you'd be type celebrity out there for sure.
Oh, dude, that would be my honor. Come out there and come play with my brother, my guy, the QB, and catch a good pass, a TD from you.
There you go. There you go. And I remember last year when I talked to Nazi about playing on our flag team. He said, whatever you need me, give me a call. I'm only down the road.
No, sir. No, Nazi. No, absolutely not. Now he can come watch a game, but no, sir. No chance. No, man. But that's good. I'm glad y'all out there, man. The weather's starting to change a little bit, and that's one thing that I do love. It was 80 degrees here in Kentucky. It's the first time we had 80-degree weather, but thunderstorms, tornadoes, and all those things, come with the warm weather, especially at this time.
Right.
Then it's going to dip right back down the next few days. It's going to be raining and all of that. So
allergies have been horrible so far. I was reading a whole news report about the allergies because spring's starting earlier in most places. So the allergies are way the worst they've ever been, to date right now. One of the worst they've ever been to start the spring out. And I woke up Saturday morning and I'm like, man, my throat kind of hurts. My nose is kind of burning. I don't have a cold, but I'm like, I was constantly sneezing. I'm constantly sneezing. So I had to start taking allergy medication right out the gate. And I have like mild allergies. So like the fact that it's already starting, I'm happy spring is here. But also what comes with spring is you got thunderstorms, different types of, stuff like that. And then also bad allergies and pollen. So it all comes together.
Yeah. That's all. It's kind of the deal. I don't really deal with it as much, man. Kind of grown up out in the country somewhat, kind of got used to it. I guess got your tolerance up.
There you go.
You ain't got no choice, but you got to be that. And that's me being out there on the farm, working in the field. Shoot, if you sneeze, your work ain't stopping.
That's true.
Work ain't stop. Man, look like the chat is rolling here tonight, man. I'm gonna say what's up to everybody that's in the house, everybody here on a Wednesday evening. I want to say thank you for all coming out, man. G Pick is here in the house. What's going on, G Pick? Good to see you, my brother. I know you up and at 'em, rolling around. Andre Chenault, what's up? Storming everywhere. I slept through ours last night. Yeah, man. It's just this what it is during this time, man. Just stay safe. Stay safe. Make sure you keep your eyes on all the things that's going on, man. I've seen a big, sale forming down in like Texas. Crazy, man. J-Dub 84, what up, man? What's going on with you, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you out here. J-Dub 84, Optimistic James is here in the house. What's going on, Optimistic James? Optimistic James, I know you got some questions or something tonight. You always have something good for us, man. Can't wait. Gary Holland, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Shoot, who else we got? Cliff Johnson. What up, man? What up, Cliff? How's it going, Cliff? Good to see you. Lynn Julian. How's it going, Lynn Julian? Good to see you as well. Marion Oliver. How's it going? Marion Oliver was talking about your arm out there too, Marcus, I think. Sim McBride. Yep, same thing. Watch all the storms tonight. Tornadoes are dropping all over. Beware. Yeah, take cover. Make sure that you are keeping your eyes posted to everything that's going on. So, yeah. Y'all just be prepared. Y'all stay safe. James Lamp, what's going on, man? In the house, brother. How you doing, James? Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else we got? Linda Hunter is here. How you doing, Linda? Good to see you here. Chief for 65. How you doing, TPT? Good to see you, Chief for 65. Who else we got? Hannah is here. What's going on, Hannah? Good to see you as well for tonight. So, yeah, man. Brian Birch. What's up, Birch? What's going on, my guy? I was going to hope everything's doing well. Was in the hospital, okay? Everybody doing all well. Hope. How's everyone doing? Let me read this back because I'm reading over here on the comments and back over here. How's everyone doing? Hopefully all we well with the family that was in the hospital the other day, JD. Yes, they are. Nepp is doing fine. He's doing well. He's on the mend, doing extremely well. Same thing. My brother Stu who was in the hospital. He's out now. He's moving around, doing a good job. I know G-Pick was in the when G-Pick was in the hospital.
Yeah, the hip replacement surgery.
Yeah, so I didn't know he had gotten home, but he was in the hospital. So yeah, man, G-Pick, man, good to see you. So Brian Birch, look like everybody's on the trajectory going up, baby. Yep. That's what it's all about, man. That's what we do. So we do, man. We hold each other up. So appreciate you saying so to everybody, man. Family, everybody's doing well. William McQueen, how's it going, William? Good to see you, my guy. Good to see you in here. So we're going to have some good things to talk about. G-Pick Physical Therapy, treat me good. I'm walking around real good now. My God. I knew it, man. The champ fight, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I love it, G-Pick. That's what it's about, man.
Tough as nails, man. Tough son of a bucks we got. We got a lot of tough son of bucks in the Chief Concerns family.
Mm-hmm. Show them how it's done, G-Pick. Show them how it's done. So, yeah, you keep it going, man. Moving the right way. Keep moving in the right way. So, yeah, everything's been good, though. I love it. I love hearing these reports, positive reports that's coming out here from people, man. You know, the blessings that people have, the goodness and all of that people are feeling and dealing with right now. So this is beautiful. So we're going to talk about some Chiefs football, too. See what's going on in the Chiefs in off there in the old Arrowhead, GHA Stadium, just the Chiefs kingdom, the world. What's going on, Marcus, with these things? What's happening?
There's a lot going on, JD. Tonight's episode, we got Chiefs stuff as well as some NFL overall stuff, which will affect us as, Chief fans and, NFL watchers. So some stuff will affect us. So curious to hear your thoughts on some of the changes that I think should have been made when you were playing and even before you were playing. But we'll get into that as well. But before that, JD, before we came on our show today, after I already sent out the topics for the day, we get this report, and we had our friend David Buchanan on Twitter wanted to know what your opinion was on it. So the Chiefs have asked the NFL to make them the staple of Christmas Day games. The Chiefs have obviously played the last 2 years. The Raiders lost 2 years ago. Then the Steelers win this past year. Going back further than that, Chiefs played in 2016, the famous Dontari Poe a touchdown pass, 2004 when you played, and then in 1971. So the Chiefs have played in total 5 games and have gone back-to-back. So the Chiefs want to be pretty much the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys of what they are to Thanksgiving, but they want to do that for Christmas, which I think is pretty cool as, an avid watcher. But we're all watching the game, right? We're all at home opening gifts, doing stuff with family, friends. But NFL players, right? So it's obviously Chiefs have asked the NFL this. Clark Hunt's probably asked the NFL this. I don't know if the players have asked this. But, JD, as a player, you obviously 2004, you played on Christmas. You've kind of talked about how, how hard that kind of was. But, like, as a player, when you see the Chiefs are asking to be that team that plays on Christmas from here on out, because it seems like the NFL is making a big point of emphasis to play on Christmas for forever. Mm-hmm. What is a player's thought process on this? Because obviously when you hear Chiefs ask this, Mahomes ain't asking for this. Clark Hunt is. What is a player thinking about this?
Oh, man. You know what? I always said this. When you play in the NFL, you got to kind of get used to where sometimes obviously during the season, the holidays during that time really doesn't apply to you as much because you're going to be doing something during the week. Obviously, some teams are playing during that day, after or before. So you always are going to be doing something close to Christmas. And look, we know the Chiefs are a huge draw. We know that. And so do teams want to see the Chiefs? Obviously wearing, the good old Christmas colors of, red and white and kind of goes with the whole, theme and festivities of holiday of Christmas. I don't know. I think it's not, for me as a player, I like my downtime with my family. I do. I like, kind of opening the Christmas presents with my kids under the tree, when it was during that time, if you were able to. Just kind of kicking your feet up, having your family and stuff around. That whole going to the stadium and maybe before the night is sleeping at the hotel room, if you will, may be a lot more than what guys just want to continue to do year in and year out. Thanksgiving is one of those things people gather. So it's like, yeah, like you get there. Sometimes people don't eat until later on during the day. But it's not like the tradition of waking up and opening the presents with your kids, all those different things, right? So I don't see maybe where Thanksgiving is maybe not as sacred as Christmas is. If that's your holiday that you like to celebrate. Obviously, there's different ones that don't celebrate Christmas, and you got to understand that too. But as far as like guys on the team that do celebrate it, they may be opposed to it. like I said before, Marcus, if I had my druthers, my choice to do it, I wouldn't want to make it every year doing it. I'm like, why us? That's how I'd be like, why we got to be the ones? Let somebody else do it. Switch it up like they do every year. So, I know Clark and them. It works well for owners, sure. Because you get the draw. That's what happens. You get the audience. So, I don't know. I don't know how the team, the guys would take something like that if it did happen. But who knows?
And I was looking at when you guys played, were you guys a primetime game in 04, or you guys 4 o'clock maybe?
I think so. Yeah, I think it might have been a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah.
I think so. But still, we had to, be at the hotel the night before, the meetings, all of that. It's hard to, the mode of Christmas and the kids, going to bed, you want to kiss them goodnight, all the stuff ready. And, and then, Santa comes in the morning, you want to see what Santa, dropped up underneath the tree, right? See what he put in the stocking in the chimney. And so that's always one of the traditions everybody likes. The kids like that. So if you're telling me they got to get up to the stadium and go to the game, they're like, man, I want presents and all this. Okay. All right. So
yeah. Well, I feel like because you guys, that was a 4 o'clock game. I feel like that would be better, I guess. And I know with this past year we played at noon, and I remember was it 1 o'clock or noon? I remember we kind of had to hurry up with everything, and we had my two nieces over for the holidays, and we had to kind of wrap the gifts up. They already did their thing, but they were opening uncle's gifts and stuff. And then it got to a point where it was 11:30. I'm like, okay, let's speed this thing up. We got the game starting soon. So and I have to imagine that's a rush for fans, right? The players they can't really enjoy that, man, because they're let's say they're out the door. Let's say Andy lets them stay at their house for the night. That morning, you gotta be at the stadium so early. You can't really can't enjoy it at all.
Yeah, it's hard to enjoy that, man. So you definitely want to be around your family, just like I said, and kind of enjoy your time. I get people, obviously it's great to have, the games on Christmas, but I think it needs to be in rotation. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So
I wonder if the Chiefs, by making this, because obviously they know they have Mahomes and he's going to play for the next 15 years, right? So they obviously know that NFL wants to put Mahomes on a day like this, and because NFL is making no bones about it, they want to make Christmas an NFL day, no longer an NBA day. And right with the way the ratings are for the NBA, there's definitely a huge opening for that. They proved it last year. So making Mahomes a staple of that, that's a great way to start this tradition out, right? You have Mahomes in the prime of his career. But by Chiefs saying they want to make it the staple, the Chiefs get the home game for that. So at least Clark and them, they know the NFL wants Mahomes on this Christmas game. At least we say, hey, we're the staple, just like Detroit and Dallas. They play all their Thanksgiving games at home. It's never a away game. So at least they're claiming the home territory aspect of it by making themselves a staple, if that is what the NFL decides to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can use that as an argument for sure. I know that at times, okay, like I said, the Chiefs are a draw. Patrick Mahomes is always going to be a draw as long as he's playing, right? He really will be. Best quarterback in the NFL. Everybody wants to see that. I know at a time when, Dallas kind of wasn't as good and Detroit definitely wasn't any good. Everybody's like, oh, geez. Yeah, let's just watch some football, right, while you're doing that. And so they gave you something. So it wasn't just, eating, stuffing yourself with the turkey and then watching, maybe some bad football being played on Thursday. Now with the Chiefs, you're going to get you a great game coming out with the best quarterback in the business. And usually for Chiefs fans, it's going to turn into a victory. It's going to turn into a win. And the way that the hate has been going around, like the flu, I'm sure other people love to just see the Chiefs lose if that's the case as well. So the haters going to come out because they just want to see the Chiefs take an L. But I don't. You could, like I said, man, you could make the argument for that to try to do those things. I think what you had to look for is future-wise. Patrick Mahomes is not always going to play with the Chiefs, okay? Are we going to be able to acquire another quarterback that could at least get close to equate what Patrick Mahomes can do? I'm not sure, but I'm sure they'll do a good job finding somebody, right? I know what we have right now. So if you want to try to establish something right now, sure. I just think it just sets a bad precedent. You know what I mean? But it works for the organization in itself. And Clark?
100%. Like, it's a foolproof thing for the organization because right now, the 10 years, right, it's mutually beneficial. The NFL gets Mahomes, the Chiefs get to play the prime time game or that main game on Christmas. But and I was looking at the Lions started playing on Thanksgiving in 1934, right?
Really?
And I don't know, yeah, and obviously way before the merger, but that's when they started playing in 1934 on Thanksgiving.
So what was the reason? Do you know the reason behind it?
It just said the Lions started. I just looked at. I didn't see the reason, but yeah, they started playing on Thanksgiving in 1934. I don't know. I don't know if there was a specific reason why.
Huh. I always wondered that.
Okay, here you go. Detroit Lions started their Thanksgiving tradition in 1934 when owner George A. Richards, seeking to boost attendance and visibility for the newly relocated team, arranged for a game on the holiday, which is broadcast nationally. So he wanted those numbers. Which and that's the thing. It's like right now, Chiefs don't necessarily need that, but for the Chiefs' point of view, for the organization's point of view, is hey, let's capitalize on this now. So in 20 years' time, when there is no Patrick Mahomes anymore, hey, we're still that team that plays on Christmas. So I mean, it's a smart way, forward-thinking move for the organization to do that. Because like the Lions, they went through many years before they had this team they have now, right? The Joey Harringtons, the John Kitna type years, right? So and now they're locked in regardless of who's their quarterback. So it's a smart move by the Chiefs to kind of take advantage and ride the wave that we have right now.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Just like Chief for 65 point TPT said, money is always a reason. It's what it is. Like you said, it's not necessarily visibility, but if you have something to staple for the next few years and try to keep it like that forever, why not take advantage of it and say, hey, man, let's throw a name in a hat. We've been a good draw for the past few years, been to the Super Bowl, 5 of the last 6. Yeah, sure. But I don't know how the owners would take it. They probably laughed at the thing like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Why should y'all guys get that? Because y'all have this run. But, maybe that's the reason they started a little Christmas story in Kansas City last year. They wanted to, kind of, maybe.
And I believe Buffalo's getting it this year.
Buffalo's getting it, really? Okay.
Yeah, the new Hallmark movies for Buffalo this year.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're just trying to
watch that.
Hallmark's is trying to capitalize on anything NFL related. So anything they get a license for it, they're going to do it. And then also, Lions got it in 1934. Then it wasn't until 1966 when Dallas started their Thanksgiving tradition.
Okay.
So 32 years later. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, long-term wise for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's very beneficial for the organization because, you're going to have a game that's yours regardless when Mahomes is there or not. They've done it for 2 years already, so they're probably going to continue again this year. And I will say, too, I remember that players some didn't like the whole, playing that such a few amount of games in such short, 8 days or 2 games, 6 days, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But they had a long break. It was kind of like a bye week for them because they had that game was a Wednesday, so they had 13 days off till the next game, which a lot of players did like that. They said they needed it, so that was good for them. This year, if we do get a Thanksgiving or if we do get the Christmas Day game, Christmas Day falls on Thursday, so it's pretty much just having a Thursday night game if we were to get the Christmas Day game this coming season. So
I got no problem with it if it's this year, not at all. So
yeah.
But we see a few people that jumped in the chat. What's up, barbershop? I see Neff is here. There he is. That's how he's doing right here. Word is in the house. Neff is here. What's going on, Neff? Good seeing you. Good seeing you, Neff. Everybody's asking about you. So there he is. You see Zulu is here in the house. Mike Brennan just came in. I see who else came through here last second. I seen the barbershop came through. I'm the Brown. What's going down? I'm the Brown. So yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going.
Packed house.
Yes, sir.
So Chiefs Christmas, book it for at least during the Mahomes era. Book it for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so going to the NFL side of things. So New rules, JD. New rules come to the NFL, kind of adopting more of a college-style approach. I'm curious. As a fan, I love this. As someone who plays fantasy, I love this. So curious what you have to say about this. So new rule changes. Tush push is here to stay for now, but the NFL is set to make the NFL look closer to college overtime rules. Been a long time coming for many fans out there for this. The NFL owners have passed a rule change that will allow both teams to possess the ball in overtime during the regular season. So pretty much adopting the playoff rules, but taking that to the regular season. However, instead of 15 minutes, it's going to be a 10-minute overtime. So JD, would you say the NFL has finally gotten overtime right, or is there still something you would like to be seeing added to that or tinkered with a little bit?
No, I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's fair for guys, team, give a chance, an opportunity to, at least try to rectify what another team has done. If they scored, it's like, oh man, the game is over. So I didn't mind that rule. I really didn't mind it because it put it on the defense and whatnot to make sure you stopped a team. Okay. And then also the incentive would be not just kick a field goal if that was the case, but to actually go down and score a touchdown. But I do believe that the rule in itself now, have it put in, I think is the proper way to do it. I think it's the proper way to do it, man. I actually like that idea more than the previous one. So yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man.
The one thing I will say, we don't see it. We don't see ties that often, but the one thing I will say is 10 minutes, right? So I received the opening kickoff, and I'm a team that likes to sustain drives like the Chiefs have been last year and the last 2 years, right? Sustain drives, kind of, keep those first downs. And there's potential that you are the only team that gets the ball, really, if you can sustain a long drive. 10 minutes is not that long. And that's where it's for me, it's I would have just loved them to give them 15 minutes. But my thing is, if it does come to it, because 10 minutes, if you have two teams that are just going 3 and out, you may see more actually ties in that case with that. And that kind of scares me and if we do see that, then what's the rule of the future going to be? How can we prevent ties?
I don't like the whole tie thing. I don't. I think at that point after the 10 minutes, if you call that overtime rules regulation, no sudden death squad. I like sudden death. Then all of a sudden didn't make it. Whereas, okay, next team that scores, whatever it may be, so be it, right? Or y'all have one possession each, and that's it. After that 10, right? If you move on to these overtime rules, the next one will be sudden death. One team has one chance, the other team has another chance, and that's it. Then, so be it. If it's a tie, it's a tie, right? But yeah, 10 minutes. I was sitting there thinking, man, when I was reading this rule, I'm just like, man, 10 minutes is it's not really a long time at all. So obviously, strategically, teams will try to do a much better job of holding on to the football as long as possible, not necessarily giving another team a chance and time to go down and score. So I think you could at least try to draft, your offense in a particular way that you could eat up the clock. So I think that's part of what you do. But yeah, I don't like the whole after 10 minutes the tie. I don't like that part of it. But
yeah, that was the one thing they amended of it. So the original proposal was a full 15 minutes. They amended that and passed the OT rules, but with 10 minutes, not 15 minutes, which is you're letting these guys play for 10 more minutes. I mean, come on, 5 more minutes. Is that really the end of the world here?
Yeah, that's well, then that's how was it then? You start at the whatever yard line,
the college rules, they start at 35 or whatever?
Yeah, do that, right? You score, you score. If you don't, then you don't. You kick a field goal, then fine. The next team comes up, kick a field goal, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But I think, I know as players you don't want to keep playing either. I mean, but it is competition. I don't want to go home with a tie. I never liked that. And especially guys been playing hard. You've been playing your tail off all game. Dudes and got hurt, all those different things just to end in a tie. I don't like that at all. I'm like, I don't like it in boxing. I hate it in boxing.
It's terrible. It's a waste of a watch.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think the judges, we see this a lot. I think the judges are in on it. I think no doubt about it. Like, I don't know who to give it to. Yeah, really? Yeah, let's go ahead and just make it a tie, right? Or the ones, I don't want to talk about boxing because sometimes you see some judges getting out close enough. Some dudes just way off. You're like, wait a minute, what were you watching? Right? So.
Yeah, boxing is one of the ones where people talk about rigged and crooked for the NFL.
Yeah,
that's boxing. There's, I think there's a little bit more to that with that than the NFL. NFL, you got guys playing their asses off for 60 minutes. The last thing they want to do is go home with a tie because that pretty much doesn't do anything. I mean, that doesn't do anything for anybody, really.
Right.
You have a question here, 2 questions. So we got Amna Brown and Demetrius Spencer. Amna Brown, based on the Chiefs Super Bowl OT victory, everyone said the quarter length didn't matter if the position never completed. Would it be different if the possession never completed? Yeah, because the quarter went down to the end, and then it went actually. So yeah, maybe you're right. There would be no tie then. So there you go.
Yeah,
I think so, but I don't know. Because remember that the clock was ticking down to zeros.
Mm-hmm.
Romo Nance said that play would have continued after that expired. They would just continue the time again. So yeah, I don't know, but I haven't read that. I know if they're taking the same playoff rules and they're bringing it over, it'd be horrible to have any ties. So I hope that is the case, Amber Brown.
Yeah.
And then Demetrius Spence asked, how much practice time will be dedicated to the 10-minute drill?
None. 0. I mean, it's just regular football. You just what you play. The same thing like 4-minute offense or whatnot. So you just gear everything toward, just trying to maintain the football for a long period of time. But you had that I don't want to do you any good if you don't score. You do all that, man. It's like, yo, you still don't get any points out of it, or just 3. So
yeah, Mike Price says the new rule doesn't change the playoff rules as far as I've read. So yeah, so essentially, if it takes me 10 minutes to score, then you get possession with the ball, and then you can go down. So it's guaranteeing both teams will get time. So that makes it a whole lot better. I love this. Then the whole number thing doesn't make any sense. Then why even give it a limit? Then if I take 10 minutes to score, then you still get a chance to get the ball. Then what's the 10 minutes then? So I think they should make it untimed. Would that make sense, JD?
Yeah. I mean, you could go on forever.
That's true.
At least, how long it'll take. You don't want one of those marathon of a football game anymore. You don't want to deal with that. Next thing you know, you're trying to put the kids in beds, the kids are laying in the stands, and only adults is up watching. Like, man, I gotta go to work, and things of that nature, whatever it is, whatever it may be, right? If it's late game or so. I'll say this: it doesn't matter what the rule's going to be. There's always going to be a complaint. Somebody's not going to like it. So let's try this thing and see how it works. But I do like how it is right now. So.
Yeah, no, I love it, and when I hear the overtime rules, it brings me back to the game you were at, JD, where Baker when they lost the coin toss, the picture there where Baker goes like this when they.
Yeah, God, you knew it. Like, hey, Pat was like, "Hey, man, good game." Like, hey, you actually played a good game. Okay? Now it's time to do you in. Now we got to do you in. Okay. So you had your shot. You had your chance. You played a wonderful game, sir. But here it ends. So.
Yep. Yeah, but like you said, people are going to complain about. I'm sure at some point they're going to complain about something. But in the end, this rule, it's great because now it's like it actually guarantees. There's no more crying about they won the coin toss, they scored a touchdown, we never got a chance to get the ball. It's like, okay, well now you get a chance to get the ball. So now after that, if you don't do anything after that, I don't know what to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's a good thing. There's no ties if they are bringing over the playoff rules. That's another good thing. So no more ties in the NFL. Hey, all day long, baby.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, I hate seeing a tie. I do.
Did you ever get a tie in Philly or Kansas City? No,
Never. Never.
Yeah, whenever I see a tie, the guys like when the game's over, they always look so pissed off.
Yeah. No, like somebody's got to win this thing. You've been out there. I left a couple of teeth. You know what I'm saying? But I broke my hand. Hey, somebody needs to win. This ain't we're gonna step off, shake hands at the end of this, and say, no, sir. At times on American, yeah.
Very true. Very true.
It's got to be a winner. It's got to be a win after this thing. If I lose, so be it, right?
Yeah. Mike Brad says NFL should go to the judges if game ends in a tie. No more overtime. And then you'd have a revolt as far as the bettors. The bettors would not appreciate that at all. They wouldn't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they trust it anyway right now anyways. As a matter of fact, as far as the betting wise, I've seen this commercial a lot during the March Madness. It's like pretty much telling people to like lay off college kids. Like they're still kids and you're a loser for going after them. It's a kind of an infomercial kind of thing where it's like, lay off the kids. Like they're still adolescents pretty much. Don't go to Twitter and berate them because you lost your bet. Don't bet if you're gonna get mad at students, which is pretty good advertisement, honestly. Because a lot of guys, a lot of people treat the college kids like they do with the NFL, like the NBA or NFL players. They don't catch a certain amount of passes. They crush them on social media. So it's nice. It's nice that they're making advertisements to kind of step in from that stuff.
You could try to shield them from criticism or whatnot. They're gonna learn at some point that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It feel good. Yeah, no, you should. It matter if you do it with everybody, but some people like, man, they adults. Let them.
I think we lost JD. Yeah, we lost JD for a little bit. This happened last week as well. He'll be back on in a second. What JD, I think what JD's about to say here is like, some people will say that JD, you broke up and then you came back on just then.
It happened. I don't know what's going on, man. Hopefully storms ain't starting right now. They didn't happen.
Well, this happened last Wednesday, but it didn't happen on Monday. So,
yeah, I don't know. No,
I always give it a beat when it happens because I don't know if it's happening to me or it's happening to you. Then I see the chat continue to go, and then I'm like, okay.
He said, "Let him what, JD?" So, 19-year-olds don't need the pressure of a guy betting spreads with his rent money. They don't, but I think it's necessary as a coach and everybody else to let them 19-year-olds understand. Like, look, there's gonna be idiots out there. They're gonna be saying whatever. They're gonna be trying to make statements about your playing time, how you should do this and that whatsoever. You just gotta watch yourself. Be aware of idiots that's out there that's trying to get you to do something or saying something about you. This is the world we live in. Everybody's under a microscope, especially on social media, which people are regularly just watching and opine on anything, right? So, how are you going to stop it? How are you going to stop that? That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's always going to be the thing. And also too, like what some people may think, we've kind of talked about the whole NIL stuff. People think like, these guys are getting paid millions. Some of these players are getting paid millions. Obviously, not all of the college players people are betting on are getting paid millions, but some of them are. And then, you have those people say, well, you know what? They are professionals now. They're getting paid millions of dollars to play a college sport. I'm going to say what I have to say to these people. So, I mean, that's probably the rationale for some of these people to, go at these college kids in that way, at least on social media.
Yeah. I think what you had to do is you got to build a kid's his confidence up as much as possible. And you just got to let them understand, like, you out there to play the game, having a great time. Okay. And you're trying to win, be competitive. But you don't have to be doing it out here for the guy who's sitting over here, opening up a daggone keg or whatever, or saying like, oh, you lost me money, or my house payment, my mortgage payment, or whatever it may be. So you're not in control of that. You don't feel like you need to be. Okay, you're not responsible for that person. That person's an adult too. They got to be responsible for themselves. So, and I'm sure these kids, man, at 19, they're hearing all type of things from their own friends. No telling what else that they're seeing. It's just shit crazy out here. Wild, wild west, man. Bananas, straight bananas.
Well, it's interesting because, like, in the state of Virginia, you can't bet on Virginia schools. So I can't bet on UVA, Virginia Tech, any of those. Like, I can't bet on any of them. Like March Madness, if a team's playing in a March Madness, I can't bet on it. And they did that. The specific reasoning was proponents of the rule argue it protects Virginia student athletes from corrupt influences and harassment within the state. So that's a pretty good. I mean, obviously, social media travels everywhere, right? So
yeah.
But at least it takes away that, like, the localness of that whole thing within that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a player attending Virginia Tech, you're not going to go to class the next day. Everybody in that room is going to bully you because you laid an egg the night before. They didn't bet on it, right? They can't bet on it. So
yeah. I'm good over here, Newt. Appreciate it, brother. Good over here.
Yeah, Mike Brennan not being able to bet on Virginia Tech games was killing me, but I get it. You can use underdog and that's not betting. You can predict their stat outcomes on underdogs. So there you go, Mike. All right, so the next rule change, JD. This is one. So it's almost like another year, another rule change that comes from a Chiefs win. A couple of years ago was the whole overtime thing. Josh Allen never got a chance, and now first down measurements became a heated topic after the recent AFC Championship game where the Buffalo Bills' Josh Allen fell short of a first down late in the game. Replay showed Allen reach the first down, but the position of the ball could not be seen by sideline cameras. Referees confirmed the ruling after a review, and the Bills went on to lose the game. The NFL released the verbiage of the new measurement process yesterday. Quote, Sony's Hawkeye virtual measurement technology will serve as an efficient alternative to the process of walking chains onto the field and manually measuring whether 10 yards have been met after the official has spotted the ball. The chain crew will remain on the field in a secondary capacity. So the chain gang is no longer necessary or needed. They're in a backup capacity in case this technology, goes awry. So JD, what are your thoughts on the innovation here the NFL is going to be going with for the measurement that the Chiefs broke the system. The Chiefs broke the NFL. They had to pretty much get rid of the chain game because of the Chiefs. What do you think about this?
I tell you what, I'll let you give your opinion on it first. I got to run over real quick. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
You're good.
2 minutes.
All right. So what I'm going to say is on this is, if this happened to us, if this happened to the Chiefs, no one would care. We wouldn't see any rule change to it. So let me first just say that. I think that's number one. If the Chiefs were on the other end of this, Mahomes tried to sneak it. He got the first down, but he didn't get it. We proposed it. It wouldn't happen. When the Chiefs proposed the same rule about the overtime thing when we lost to the Patriots, who voted for that? I think like 3 teams voted for that. But what happened when Josh Allen and they proposed it after that whole Bills, the 13-second game? It passed, right? So I think the same thing would have happened here. But my bias aside to the whole thing, how I feel about it, I think that this is a good thing. I think innovation is good. I also do think human error is a part of the game. I think human error is a part of baseball, be it the umpire or the strike zones. I mean, you can go automatically. You don't need an umpire anymore, right? You don't need an umpire anymore. But I will say, like tennis has what is it called? Their bird's eye view thing where the ball they see where the ball lands. They can say it's in or out. I think it's great. I think I'm seeing No Name put a chip in the ball. There you go. Put a chip in the ball. Same kind of thing. But I think this whole Hawkeye thing, I think this is going to be kind of sort of like that. I don't know specifics of what the Hawkeye is, but this is going to kind of act as same way it does with tennis. So if I'm carrying the ball, I get knocked down the ball. There's a kind of a chip in the ball or some kind of thing in the ball or some kind of view that gets that working. It tells you where you are on the field. And JD is back. So I do think it's a great thing. I think innovation is good wherever you can kind of use it. But I do also, I'm going to miss the human error aspect of the game because just like, there's human error within the players, the referees kind of bear that as well. And we're still going to see the human error aspect because, referees are going to be on the field. You're going to see missed calls. You're going to see a lot of that. But I do think it's sad because we're kind of going in a way where, like, what's going to happen in 10 years' time? I know baseball people are very they like to stick to the old school rules. But at some point, you're going to say what people they're just getting the strike zone wrong too much. But you know what? Do away the umpire. We don't need the umpire anymore. Let's get a robot, AI back there tell you, oh, that was in the strike zone. That was outside the strike zone. So where are we going? I don't know. But as far as the innovation aspect, I like it regardless if we're the reason why that they passed this rule. But again, like I said, when you stepped away, JD, if this was the opposite, if Mahomes had gotten a first down, but they actually didn't get it right, and we proposed this rule, I don't think they would have passed it this past offseason. That's just my opinion.
So, okay. So did they rule that he actually got a first down? Is it was still a dispute? They stayed with what they said. It was inconclusive.
I think it was inconclusive. Yeah.
Okay. So so for me, I think, like you said, innovative things and technology is fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And yeah, there's going to be human error in these things. I don't have any problem with a tracking system as far as like with the ball to get it right, the accuracy of it. Not at all. The thing is, how accurate is it actually going to be? That's the question. Is it still going to be some type of error there? And maybe they're going to say, well, the chains went in the right place. So you had to make sure you have it all configured from sideline to sideline that nothing can get in the way of it, right? I'm talking about up top, cameras and everything as far as that goes. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. I'm not. Somebody said on here, I think who was it? Sasha said it's always the Bills. No, Linda said it. It's always Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo is always gonna, cry about what they didn't get done and have all the chance to do it. But no, look, I think it's a great thing. I think it's something they should try. If it does make their accuracy of the game that much better, sure, why not? Does it? But it doesn't replace the referees. I don't believe. I think if anything, they should show exactly how accurate the referees really are, how close they actually got it. So I think it'd be somewhat of a measurement of how good the crews really do see it and they do call it. Because it's not like these guys are just going out there, Marcus, and just been like, oh, okay, you only been refereeing. No, like you go through a school, you getting taught, you checking everything out. Like these guys are trained. They're trained to see these particular things. And even like, let's say somebody like training, if you will, maybe a marksman. And it takes a guy and I over years, enough time doing it to get it right. Will there be error? Sure. But more than not, these guys are getting the call right. And like I said before, we already have enough of the cameras and stuff that they see, the replays and whatnot that goes into it that makes them, come to a conclusion. So I looked at the whole thing, and I could still dispute what everybody says that he got a first down. I said he didn't. I think that it wasn't clear. Could have been in his other arm. So, but, hey, shoot, they could have got a first down, before that. It just didn't quite necessarily work. But yeah, I think this technology, once they use it in a real setting, football games and stuff like that, are they using it now in any football setting?
I'm I'm looking it up right now. So Hawkeye Innovations. Oh man. Covering up to 25 sports, Hawkeyes delivered over 100,000 days of events in 100 countries. Video replay, our multi-angle replay tech underpins our video capture review clipping capabilities. They use it in tennis. I guess they had it during some games last year, I believe. I mean, just show me a bunch of different sports they have.
Football?
Yeah. I see a Raiders. Looks like they have a Raiders game here. Let me. Yeah, I don't know how often it's been used in football.
So, but is this now because we're talking about a whole different type of technology? Are we putting a tracker inside the ball, or is it just different pinpoints? Like I said, multi-camera technology that you can't be encumbered by bodies and everything around it, right? Like if you're surrounded by something, like the only way you can be able to do it, the accuracy of it is put a tracker in the ball, and it has to be with, with all the the flags and stuff out there, or the sticks. It has to be.
Yeah, so this is their press release, I guess. They released, so Sony's Hawkeye technology will be used by the NFL as the primary method for measuring the line to gain. Sony's Hawkeye virtual measurement system allows the NFL to accurately and efficiently measure the distance between the spot and the line to gain. Technology tested extensively last season will bring a new level of precision. So I guess they were testing it last year.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL and Sony are integrating world-class on-field officiating with state-of-the-art technology to advance football excellence. Combine the art of officiating with Sony's trusted Hawkeye systems, healthy recipe for success. Okay, I want to know what it is. Sony's Hawkeye virtual measurement technology will serve as an efficient alternative to the process of walking chains on the field and manually measuring whether 10 yards have been met after the official has spotted the ball. The chain crew will remain on the field. Okay.
So they say the full operational process takes around 30 seconds. Saving up to 40 seconds from a measurement with the chains. So Sony's collaboration with the NFL on the technology organized with the league's adoption. That's why I'm trying to read it. Okay, here we go. Get in here. So see, they've been passionate about trying to work with all these different sports, and I guess the NFL is kind of like the last cracking of this, right? To try to get it implemented, especially in this league. So if it's working in it, and you probably have to read more into it, like, maybe see a video of how they do their technology. Is it in the ball? Like all those different things. I think it's just kind of an overview of where they have it and how they're doing it. So
this is soccer. I mean,
so there's the sensors. See, so that's what I'm saying. They had to have a sensor.
I mean, it's pretty cool technology. I mean, So yeah, this is what I'm used to. I watch a lot of tennis, so this is the stuff I see. But like, football's just so different. Yeah, right. I mean, if you could do this, right? I mean, it should be able to tell you, right? Oh, okay. Rugby's pretty similar.
It is. I still haven't seen like a bunch of bodies surrounding a ball. So I don't know semi-automatic offside tech.
Okay. Ball tracking. Yeah, they're very weird about what with the wording of all the stuff. They're not really they're being very vague about it.
But I'm thinking if they got it to this point, man, then it has to be somewhat that they trusted enough, right, to check it out and try it and see how it is. So look, I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. this technology in itself, is it going to make the game better? Sure. It'll be more accurate. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. So good. Good for the NFL. Okay. If it helps out with some of the calls and stuff, if you can, not just with guys, but I mean you looking at feet coming out, all type of things. I guess you can utilize this for. Shoot, I'm sure that's encompassing everything. So
yeah, it seems like football was the last sport for them to conquer. They've done everything else.
Yeah, it just look. And I think the referees are like, man, if it makes our job easier, sure. Keeps guys off of us, busting at us. Hey, man, Hawkeye, go talk to them. That's what we got from Hawkeye. That's what we're getting from them, right? That's the information. So if you have any complaints or whatever, deal with those guys. So
yeah, it looks like Chad's not a fan of this at all.
Runners, QBs, wide receivers need to know where to get to, especially the defense. Slow down game, too many angles to cover. Yeah, I think that would be the thing, and that's what I was saying. Are you hindered because of bodies in the way and whatnot? The only thing, part of the problem is this. Okay, it's a very good point by Neff right here. Part of the problem also comes into that when you see like the yellow line on TV, the first down and stuff like that, that's not the legitimate line. So when everybody sees like, oh, he made it, oh, he would shoot. No, that may not be as accurate as you think it is. You might be looking at it. They have a line where it is should be, or supposedly where you should get to, but we're talking about if it gets to the accuracy of a centimeter or whatever it may be. Okay, I don't know, like where it's not accurate, right? Where you lose that. That's the issue. People, they're gonna fuss. Now it takes all the fuss and out. Like, look, we don't want to hear any of that. Okay, when we do put this line up here, and you do get the call, okay, whatever comes in, you have to deal with it because now this system in itself says it's an accurate measurement of where things need to be. So fuss, fight, be upset all you want to. If this right here is saying that it has accuracy, I don't know if it's 100%. I'm sure it's just a higher percentage. Like I said, you're going to have to just deal with them. So Sim McBride said, bodies in the way are a problem for a low frequency RF signal. No, not sure anybody should be playing with a ball that emits penetrating radiation. That they shouldn't be. They absolutely not. Game of inches for sure. So that's definitely. So
it's good. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch. There's a reason why they're keeping the chain game on the sideline still, right? Because they don't know how this is going to work. So there's a chance that this could be a week one thing and out the next week. That's why they still have the chain game. They haven't cut them off at all. So that tells you they're not fully sold on this yet.
Yeah, Chiefer says millimeters. Yeah, I mean this there has to be to the accuracy of it. So no. Like I said, man, I'm all for it if it makes the game better. But yeah, all the things that everybody's their concerns, emitting frequencies and radiation, all those different things. I don't, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Do you think they would have passed if it worked the other way? If it was the Chiefs who got hosed like they say the Bills did, do you think they would have passed this? Just like the whole overtime thing when we lost to the Patriots, they didn't want to pass the other team should get the ball. And then when Bills lost, they wanted to pass it because the Josh Allen should have got another chance at it.
Sure. I mean, if there's enough stink in it, if somebody's making a stink, shoot, why not? I would assume that you were probably moving in that direction anyway, right? That's what I believe. I think technology is there to make it better. So if that's what you want to do, and talk about the integrity of the game, why not, invest in technology that's going to be able to help you out. So
yeah. Think of your phone taking measurements, but with a stronger processor and sensors. Also, weather conditions will cause issues with camera technology. I mean, I mean, tennis, they play with rain, right? But when it gets too much, that's when they call the game. They call the matches off. But like, I mean, those sensors are working through those games when it rains during those tennis matches, and those guys are whacking the crap out of that tennis ball, 100-something miles per hour. That thing's tiny. So I mean, do you think that, as far as like, because I think some people are worried that a player, getting tackled the ball, and that's going to jog the sensor, and then it's not going to work.
So do they have? You saying they have a sensor in the ball?
I mean, I think so. I don't know. I didn't get that from the.
It would be hard to, because then all of a sudden you start talking about changing the weight of the ball. All those different things goes into it, right? Even if it's just like little ounces. I know. I'm like, hey man, I don't want anything changed in it. Can it be so small that it has zero footprint in it as far as like weight wise?
So I'm asking to see if there's sensors in the tennis balls. While standard tennis balls don't have sensors, smart tennis balls with sensors are being developed for training purposes, and technologies like Hawkeye use cameras and computer vision to track balls. Okay, so there's no sensors though, so they're using computer vision to track it. That's interesting, man. But that's the thing though. So with the whole computer vision to track it, there's no giant offensive lineman, defensive lineman on top of these tennis balls when they're tracked during games. How are they going to track? How's the computer going to how's that computer vision going to track the football when it's beneath 300-pound like linemen? That's interesting. That's my point.
Like when you sit over here, you got a lot of bodies and everybody's around it. How are you gonna know exactly where everything is unless it just, it dings boop, 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 doo, doo, like immediately somebody's like, hey, he made it. Might have got pulled back, but he made it. But how much was it? The nose? How much? Yeah. So,
Sasha, they could put a smart bomb down a chimney thousands of miles away. This is not a problem at all.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, there's a reason why they're not getting rid of the chain gang. So there you go. Nana Sherry, fans hacking the systems in the stands. Yep. Bill Belichick, he's going to be doing that at UNC. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah. Those kinds of the system.
Think of camera replacements for an NFL game versus tennis. This is all line of sight, no RF, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Yeah. Yeah, so it should be an interesting year, guys. Some of the new OT rules for regular season and some Hawkeye technology. JD, gotta get to a rumor. It's not an off-season episode without a rumor in particular. So according to a popular Twitter account at NFL Rooms, which has been known from time to time to report some factual information and some reports, but never sourced really. But again, they reported that the Chiefs are considered a trade partner for the Eagles' Dallas Goedert. The Eagles are apparently shopping him right now and trying to trade him. You've seen a lot of Sports Illustrated, a lot of mock trades have actually had us getting Dallas Goedert, which is interesting. So, Jay, we talk about this potentially being Kelsey's last year, his swan song of a season, his farewell tour. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs making it? We talk about possibly drafting a tight end. And then on the other hand, what do you make of the Chiefs potentially trading for a veteran tight end, a guy who just turned 30 like the last month, I believe? What do you make of this Dallas Goedert potential rumor?
Is he 30 or is he going to be 31? Either way.
Just turned 30.
Okay. I don't know. I like Dallas Goedert. He's a great tight end. Does everything well. Had some obviously some injuries in the past. I mean, he's at 30, maybe you get a younger guy. I think maybe going that route, because when his time comes up for contract, he'd be looking for top money, as he should. So, do you want to invest in something like that, or are you same thing? Are you trying to find you a bargain? Can you find a young guy in college that can remotely do some of the things that Travis can do. Noah Gray and Jared Wiley out here. That's going to be on the team. There's some guys, talented guys in the draft. You can go. But that's, Mark, that's why I was all in on trying to get what's the name of here last year. I like, man, we need to move up to get him.
Oh, Bowers.
Yeah, I like, hey, shoot, if you want that, there's your heir apparent, if that's what you want to do. It's interesting. I think this next segment on Monday, I think we should talk about tight ends. I think we should start bring some tight ends up and some names and whatnot.
Let's do it. I mean, I did Elijah Arroyo a couple weeks ago.
You did. I'll tell you somebody that I like who's more of like 6th or 7th rounder, but can catch the football, runs pretty good routes, athletic. Gatson, he's with Syracuse, if I'm not mistaken. And he's more of a pass-catching tight end. He's got NFL ties, but I think for what you want, shoot, you can bring a guy like that in who can run routes, goes up with his hand very strong. I think it's that's what's required more in this offense now, right? Guys kind of getting open, feeling their way, doing all those different things. When we were sitting there talking about Kyle Pitts getting here, I thought that might have been a hell of a deal to do. I would have went Kyle Pitts. Rondé. Yeah, Tage know what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. But I think Kyle Pitts would have been a nice move, getting a guy like it here. Now, I would have paid a Kyle Pitts. Okay, sure. Got him. He's young. Few years. Definitely would have picked up him without a doubt. So, but let me start here. Okay, let me pull back. If we're trying to chase somebody that has the same cachet and things like that Travis Kelce gets, it's going to be a hard find. It is. Unless you're getting guys that already produce at that level, have proven it, then it's going to be tough. Goddard, yeah, but he's older. Cal Pitts, without a doubt, I don't think he's had a fair shot. He haven't had a Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball to him and letting him get open to do what he wants to do. Man, Andy would be able to unlock him to get 100 balls a game or season. I'm sorry, without a doubt. So I think that's what you have to be. Other than that, man, if you go into the draft to get a guy, man, be happy if you get a guy that's going to be able to catch 60 balls, 60. He gets 70 for you, daggone. You done found it. You done found it. So Travis Kelce is one in a lifetime type of guys out there, tight end wise. That's just a reality, man. He is. So
what do you make? So the whole Goddard thing is kind of crazy to me, but I was kind of looking more into it, right? I mean, Eagles are paying a lot of guys a lot of money. Goddard wants that payday, and so that's why they'd be willing to trade him. But so he's 30 next year. He's going to turn 31. If he were to come and kind of replace that, like with that Travis Kelce void, so like Kelce's contract, while Goddard's probably not going to get with Kelce money, he would kind of take a little bit of that. So he would kind of go into that contract. They would give him with that. You give him a 3-year deal, 30. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you want to get younger, but it wouldn't make because I want to do that with Evan Ingram, and I thought Evan Ingram was going to get paid as much as Goddard, and he didn't get paid that much. But I wanted to do that with Ingram. I wanted to pick him up and then kind of like give him some money to kind of fill that Travis Kelce void, because I think Evan Ingram fits this offense like a glove. I mean, he dominated with Doug Peterson's offense, which is kind of like a hybrid of this offense. So like that made sense. Goddard thinks a great tight end. I just don't know. His athleticism isn't Evan Ingram's athleticism by any means, but he's a solid tight end. I do like Goddard, but I thought it was interesting. And yeah, he is 30. I thought he was younger too, and I kind of dove into it a little bit more. He's 30 years old, man. He's not a spring chicken by any means. And he has more injury problems. If you look at his past, more injury concerns than Kelsey even does at his age, which is crazy.
Yeah. You know, if I think he's athletic enough to get open. I mean, we've seen his production. We know Dallas Goedert is a good tight end. Not taking anything away from him whatsoever. The difference between like Travis Kelsey and some of these guys, and Tasia bringing up a point, if a slot wide receiver brings that skill set after Kelsey leaves, then so be it. You're looking more for kind of the bigger guy to fit that mold. The reason you have tight ends, why tight ends are so valuable, is because they're there to do it all. Really, they are. Travis Kelsey came out there and he was able to block his tail off. So if you have a guy that can block in line or block a linebacker or a safety, you want that guy. And sometimes wide receivers are not willing to do it. They're just not. Okay, they just don't have. They just ain't got him in them. They ain't did it. So that's why, like, when you look at Gesicki was a guy that, hey, you know what? Let's get him out there, let him run routes, catch balls. Gesicki wasn't going to touch his soul. Wasn't going to do it. And the reason he's been going to different teams is because of that. I'm just going to be honest. So you need a guy. The skill set for tight ends is not just catching a football. We need for you to block too. You have to at that position. Why? Because that is part of your skill set. That gives you an advantage. You need somebody to hit the big boys that's in there, like linebackers and safeties. You need that. Or maybe crack down on defensive end. You need some of those things. Or lead up in the hole if you need. So that's why we don't want to get away from just finding guys, because teams could have done that already. They could have just got a guy and just make him a slot and just do all those different things. But I think you kind of limit your offense when you do that. That's why, like I said, Kelsey was so valuable. That's why you see Gonzalez was so valuable. That's why you see Gronk and those guys are so valuable. McBride and those dudes, right? So Laporta, these jokers, they don't mind putting their nose in and getting busy when you need them for them to do. They're big bodies, and big bodies in itself create a mismatch. Kittle, another one, dog out there. Dog gives fits in the run game and the pass game. Those things you want. You want a guy out there like that. You want a guy out there like that. So, go ahead.
No, I was saying what Richard Brochet said here. Travis said in his podcast that he would have no problem with him drafting a newbie. And he would help mentor / train them. Obviously, yeah, he's been a great mentor for all the young guys we've had since he's been here. And if they do draft another one, he'll just do the same thing as he's always done for guys like Jody, Noah Gray, all the young bucks we've had come and go during the Kelsey era. Professional, man.
No, shoot, that's what he should do. Look, I told you, most guys like that, you played, you don't mind helping a young guy. And if the writing's on the wall, like, hey, man, like, yo, you need to help this young guy out. So we could tell that's Travis Kelsey's character. We know that. Wouldn't be an issue. But that's why I think you look for a guy that you could bring him in, that has his skill set, Tasia that said God is scared. Underground as fuck.
Yeah, Tasia, do you have any Goddard's character concerns from when he came out a couple years ago? And Tasia wants you to look at Jack Beck's blocking, wide receiver who blocks like a tight end.
Jack Beck, who's he? I'll look him up. I had to check him out, see what he is.
Taja's character concern for Dallas Goedert would be him wanting too much money.
Yeah.
Barbershop really wish Jody Fortson could have worked out. He had a lot of potential. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, you're trying to make a wide receiver into a tight end, and then quite, You have flashes, man. I wish it worked out too. I was a big Jody fan watching him out there. But sometimes you asking them to do some of the dirty work. If the guys ain't willing to do the dirty work, you can't really put you out there. So,
and it also kind of goes to the point where you say like the dirty work and the physicality aspect, because like it's one thing to say you can put this guy in this body in this frame at tight end, but and yeah, injuries are flukes and they happen, but like it's a different animal playing tight end to receiver. You got to get your hands dirty, like you said, and that's where you start to see shoulder injuries, different types of injuries that happen because it ain't for the weak.
It's not, and the Joker's sitting over there and he's getting in a little frog stance, and he ain't gonna hit this Joker square in the face. Yeah, man, get out of here, get out, get somebody else in here, okay? Somebody's willing to do it, and that's why that goes to like Gesicki and all those guys. That hey, man, yeah, you could catch a football. Sure, they had several guys played at BYU and all these other places and whatnot. Can catch the daggone football, get open. But if you ask him to go in and be a sledgehammer, no sir. I don't want no part of that smoke. Zero part of it. So,
speaking of tight end, you were kind of a fan of Robert Tonyan, and we brought him back. I mean, I know we're talking about drafting or signing a guy, but maybe they just like who they have in the room right now. That maybe they're just saying they're kicking the can. Maybe we don't have to get a tight end. They brought back Tonyan. I believe they brought back who was the tight end we had? Ferkser. I mean, I don't think Anthony Ferkser is going to do much, but Robert Tonyan actually has a history. You can actually point to what he used to do with the Packers only a couple of years ago. So I mean that could be someone that would be a sleeper for the tight end room this year.
Yeah, but Hendershot is still here, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think Hendershot is still here. I thought he showed a lot of moxie out there. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I do like I liked his aggression for sure. Yeah, he was he's still with the Chiefs, yep.
So all these guys are learning. But that's why I think, man, do I have a tight end up there? I don't have one, do I? Nope.
Not yet. What do you think about the tight end? So obviously we talked about Elijah Arroyo. We'll get into him on Monday. Maybe a little preview of what we're going to talk about on Monday. But there's I just had a tight end list up here a second ago. Sorry. Okay. So you got Warren, the Penn State dude. Everyone's saying is the next Kelsey. Which you and I watched his highlights. We don't think he's the next. There's no Kelsey movement there, other than the fact that he played high school quarterback. And as a tight end, that's the only Kelsey comparison that I could draw from.
Well, he's athletic, man. He can play ball. I like him a lot.
Really? You're a big Ty Warren fan now?
Yeah. No, I like him. Yeah.
Okay.
But when we start putting names with guys, like, hey, man, come on. Like, yeah, he's a hell of a tight end. He's going to be really good.
So Warren, Colston, Loveland from Michigan, Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green.
He's going to go in later rounds, okay? Athletic, doesn't really block a soul. He's not an inside blocker, catches the ball really well. He's a guy that could play that position. Not as strong on him, but he seemed like a pretty good tight end, okay?
6'4", 230, kind of light and
light guy, man.
Yeah. Arroyo 6'4", 245. Mason Taylor, Jason Taylor's son, 6'5", 255. Which actually I read a lot about him. He's actually pretty talented. They were very limiting in what they asked him to do at LSU. And we talked about that. That's a big factor for a lot of these guys where they can be like Arroyo. He can do a lot. We saw his route running at the Senior Bowl. And then when you look at his highlights at Miami, you saw the route running a little bit, but it was mostly running seams or fly routes.
Yeah, he said Senior Bowl. I was like, I remember like, you don't get open on this whole field. You need to hit the showers, buddy. Hit it. What do you mean, coach? Yeah, you got the daggone whole field to get open. Y'all to make somebody look silly and miss. Oh, no, just.
But yeah, and then I've seen some others like Gunnar Helm from Texas, Terrace Ferguson from Oregon, and the Aronde Gadsden from Syracuse. And who is this interesting? Luke Lakey from Iowa. Iowa tight end? Those Iowa tight ends, man, they got something over there. No?
I watched him too, man. I know it.
Impressed?
I was, tight end you, but I think he's just a guy. I think he's okay. But I told you who I like. I told you. I thought Gasson, man. You start looking at him. I think he does well. I think Taylor, LSU. I think he's okay. He's not as athletic as I would want in a guy. But I think he'd be a good tight end. I think he'd be a good, solid guy in the NFL. But if we're looking for dynamic players, that can make plays and do all type of other things and whatnot, man. If you're not getting, Warren from Penn State, I think Arroyo is another guy. Like I said, Fanning, he's 230, so I don't know. He's not going to block a soul. I like Gasson. Gasson, he'll put his nose in there. Newt Rotten, he say, Gunner, kill him. Yeah, like him too, Newt. Send his film our way. Send his film our way, brother. Gunner, break your arm. He's silly.
So Monday we agree tight ends. We'll pick out 6 tight ends to talk about.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Tasia, you got the memo, buddy. Start looking at the character concerns for the tight ends, bud. Oh man, I love messing with them.
Yeah. Character concerns. Oh man.
Yeah, when Tasia comes on, so with you and me as chief concerns, when Tasia comes on, the show changes, the graphic changes to character concerns.
Character concerns.
Oh man.
Oh man. Nah, you know what? Like I said, but I also think, as far as like looking on other teams, guys and whatnot, and it's all about really, who you need. What you're actually looking for the Chiefs. Do we have enough? I'm actually excited to see where Jared Wiley is going to be and what he's going to look like. I think Noah Gray's done a good job since he's been here. He played well in college. I thought he did a pretty decent job. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
He remember last year we kind of talked about it, he was getting baby Kelsey comments from everybody.
I was like,
crazy.
Yeah, I was like, that's unfair to the young fellow. Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. But no, there's some talented guys out there, talented guys. But going to the whole original thing with Goddard and whatnot, I don't know if you go ahead and invest in something like that when you know you're going to have a big payday to pay him at 30-something years old. I don't know if you want to do that. So, but I like Goddard. I like him a lot. I do. I think he's a solid tight end. But he ain't going to go no less than one of the top 3 top paid tight ends when his time comes up. Shoot. Nor should he.
Yeah. And the fact they want to dish him, they obviously know his price range is going to be a little too rich for them. So, yeah. So Tej says the tight ends. I don't love this class. I might have to go wide receiver. All right, Tej. Yeah. Show us Jack Beck, the guy you were just talking about.
Yeah. We could do one if you want to do 2. It don't matter. If you don't have anybody else, we'll go with what we go with.
Yeah.
Said Mike Brennan said Fanning has put on weight. He's over 240 now and still built like Debo. All right. Well, let's hope 10 pounds more he can still move like him. So,
yeah. I'm not a fan of the guy.
Yeah, he's a decent tight end. Something about it, I don't know. Just I'm like, okay. And the thing is, when I was coaching for the guys that came in, was going into the draft, I had some talented guys that could play tight end. One of the guys, two of the guys, man, I thought for sure was going to be on NFL teams, and they weren't. They made it. They got there to a certain point, and then let's see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Shoot, I had 6 other guys. All good guys, man. Every single one of them, good guys. Coachable, catch the football, blocks, did everything you asked them to do. And I'm just telling you how hard it is to make it in the NFL. And so those guys did an amazing job. But some of the guys that they were expecting was going to get in didn't. So I was like, dang, a couple of guys just didn't make it. I was like, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Did they go to the UFL?
You know what? I'm not even sure. Because I just checked NFL rosters. Because I know ultimately that's what they wanted to do.
Right.
And, if you had the skill set to get there, which I thought every single one of them did have, absolutely, I thought had a shot. A couple of them that were there at the camp when they were hurt. And so that was another thing because I was like, okay, well, look, it's, the evaluation, it's going to be off you getting better. They see what you can do on college. They've seen your film. They've done all those things. Now they're just here. I'm talking to you. I'm giving you some insight about what the NFL is all about, what they're expecting. So, but yeah, man, sometimes these things, NFL is hard. It is very difficult.
When you're in it, it doesn't last long. But taking the get in there, it's tough to get in there too.
Mike, you store those receipts, buddy. Keep them.
Taja says there's some quarterbacks that weigh more than fans.
Look. Don't get me wrong. Sure, you play tight end. I want you to make it. I hope Fanning does well.
Right.
I hope he does well. But for me and my assessment of it, I don't. And I thought about him actually. Like, man, he's somebody you could actually pick up. You could actually get here at the Chiefs. Would he be a good fit? Would he be able to work as far as like with what we do? And I just seen like how they kind of ran their offense and stuff, man. He just wasn't doing anything physical, as far as blocking and stuff. Catch the football. We know you can catch. Shoot, you're supposed to be able to catch. So, but we require more than that in the NFL, especially at this position, especially at this team. There's other things they want you to do.
Right, especially with the tight end position, because obviously Arroyo's not like the best blocker by any means. He has the will and the want to, which is what the scouts and the experts say. But he provides that little zest, and a little flash with his route running, which is, I mean, hey, if you're not gonna be the best blocker, but hey, you show off those kind of skills that we do like that from our number 87. Okay, you give a little bit of that. All right, we can work with you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. A good one, JD. Another great one with the rules, Christmas Day, and of course some rumors to end the episode. Like JD said, we'll be back Monday for our prospect show. JD is going to have some of the tight ends that he talked about to discuss at more on Monday, and Tage will bring in some receivers and tight ends. And I'll see what I can do. I want the Desmond Watson one. A lot of people are big fans of it. A lot of people didn't know much about Desmond Watson. They thought he was like the guy over there at Florida, which we broke the news to a lot of these people that he was the backup D tackle. But yeah, Desmond Watson's been the big name on social media since everyone discovered his 500-pound self this past week at his pro day, which I thought was interesting. We were able to educate you guys on Big Des. But yeah, so that'll do it for us for tonight's episode. We'll see you guys Monday. JD, take us away, my man.
Hey, man, look, appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out, Nude, especially you, man. Appreciate it, man. You stay out here trolling, and I love it. Persistent. Keep up the persistent nature of yourself, Newt. Always good talking to you while you're on here. Same thing. I'm the Brown. They said no receivers with character concerns, please. Yeah, I don't know. We can get away from it. Neff says I'll take Marcus tight end analysis before JD's. I guess I don't know.
I appreciate that, Chad, but I wouldn't take my analysis over JD's at the end of the week, regardless of position.
Yeah. Damn. I was gonna say something. I'm gonna leave it there now. Okay. But hey, listen, it's a great show. Glad everybody came through tonight. Appreciate it so much. Andre Chanel said, good night. Be safe, everyone. Absolutely. Be safe. We know the storms are coming in and hitting some people, so y'all take cover if y'all need to. Make sure y'all watch each other's back. Make sure y'all stay on top of everything that's out here as well. Love each and every one of you all. Thank you, Linda Hunter, Newt Rockney, Andre Chanel, Neff, love you. Be talking to you. I'm the Brown, Sim McBride, Gary Holland, Tage, like always, Sasha, good seeing you. Mike Brennan, appreciate it, my man. Keep the Phantom receipts. Hold on to it. Hold on to them. Let's see what else we got on here. We didn't get to see Witchy usually comes in. Get to see it at the barbershop. Appreciate it. The guys like Kelsey are generational. Yeah, we'll see it. Like sometimes you have just a certain number of guys during those type of generation stuff, man. That's hard to do. It's hard to get those things. Drew Brachet, man, appreciate it, my guy. Keep coming out, my man. Appreciate it. True Champ, what's going on? I don't want any Eagles until after we bust they. Oh, I hear you. I hear you, True Champ. I hear you. Yeah. Let's see who else we got on here as well. Stu. Dallas Goedert is good. What's with the Eagles? Stu, look, they feel like they got a huge pantry of talent up there. They can do whatever they want to do. That's where they live in right now. I heard they are still up there celebrating and enjoying themselves. So,
we still have people commenting on our episode, one of our Super Bowl episodes. We still have people commenting on those, JD.
I'll be like, hey man, I just really?
Yeah, the one, I think not even the one right before the Super Bowl, the one from the 2 weeks prior. Like people are like, oh yeah, well, what about now? Like kind of comments like, okay, like dude, like you won, congratulations.
Yeah. Now, I was talking to one of my brothers, man, Gary Cobb up there, and he was telling me, man, they are still celebrating. I get it, supposed to hold on to it, So it's all good. It's all good. We'll see him again. Nana Sherry, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out here as well. Let's see here. Chief for 65, TPT. Appreciate you, my brother. Space. What's going on, Space? See you out here. Let me see who else we have. Gary Holland. I said, what's up to you, my man? Gary Holland, I know you was in here. I always appreciate you, Gary, coming in and saying what's up. Zulu in the house, man. Appreciate you, Zulu. Thank you so much, man, coming in, giving us the love like you always show us. No name. Says no chip in the ball. Got your no name. All right, but we're going to give you some love out there. Optimistic James. Appreciate it, Optimistic James. G Pick, my guy. Keep it going, man. Keep it going, man. We have some really good. We talked about all our brothers that was out here, my family who had gotten out of the hospital. Everybody's moving in the right direction. Look, and we'll keep holding y'all up, praying for you all. So everybody's getting out of the hospital. We are ascending, going forward. Y'all guys are all tough guys, no question about it, man. Keep y'all on my team all day. So appreciate your brothers for getting stronger. Okay, we holding you up, like I said before. Demetrio Spence, man. Good seeing you, my guy. Appreciate it so much. Who else we got out here? Brian Birch was in here earlier. What's up, Brian? Thank you so much for showing up. William McQueen was in here as well. Lynn Julian was in the house. Marion Oliver was in here as well. James Lamp. Code Lampin. Hannah was in here. So listen, you all. Y'all take care, y'all. Be safe. God bless. We hold each other up, pray for them, love each other, energy, whatever it is that you want to do. Man, make sure you take care of your neighbor. Love your neighbor like you're supposed to. We love you guys. Thank you for coming out. Marcus, my brother, love you. Okay, we'll be talking to you like always. And we will see y'all on Monday. See y'all Monday. Okay, enjoy yourself. Y'all be good.
Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you guys Monday.
Yes, sir.
Love you, brother.
Love you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.